Hey guys, this is Lo with the InfoGear channel. So, I just got my brand new sight. This is the Spot Hog Hogfather. Now I've had it for about a week now, but I've still not had the chance to shoot it yet. It's not exactly convenient for me to go out to a range, so I figured I might as well make one of my own targets. So today's video is not going to be about the sight, unfortunately. It's going to be about how to make yourself a target butt that'll stop at least 70 pounds. So the requirements I have for this target butt is it must be able to stop 70 pounds even after many repeated shots, which means in reality it could probably stop much more than 70 or 80 pounds even. Alright, before I show you guys how to make a target butt, I just want to put out a safety disclaimer. If you are going to use this for shooting, make sure that you're shooting in a safe environment. You want to ensure that if you did miss the target, that the arrow does not hurt anyone or does not damage any property that you did not intend for it to. Of course, if you are a minor, shoot with an adult nearby, and if you are an adult and you've got kids shooting, make sure you keep an eye on them, alright? You don't want people to get hurt. Archery is a sport, but it's a sport where people can get seriously injured. 70 pounds is a killing weight. You know, most archery equipment, most archery sets are going to be able to either kill or maim or seriously injure you, unless it's one of those arrows that has a suction cups on the end. In that case, you're fine. But for the most part, we do have to treat this as if it will severely injure and or kill people. All right, so the first thing that you're gonna need is a box. And the one I have here has a depth of 1 foot. Now what that means is I have 1 foot to put enough material in here that's going to be able to stop my arrow. So if you go with something that doesn't have enough depth, you're not going to be able to put enough material in there and it's not going to stop it as efficiently. On the other end of the spectrum, if you get something that's really big, you get to put more stuff in there and chances are you'll be able to stop heavier poundage bows, heavier poundage projectiles. Now it's of course give and take. The bigger it is, the more unwieldy it is. So I found that for a 70-pound bow, 1 foot is actually more than sufficient. Alright, so the next dimension is going to be the front face. Now we are going to use this face as our target face. So we're going to put our targets up on here, arrow's going to come in this direction, and you're going to layer it accordingly. Now I advise that you shoot a size that you're comfortable with for the distance that you're going to go for. Go bigger if you're not comfortable shooting this size. It's better to have a bigger size target than to miss and hit something you don't intend to shoot. Alright, now that we have our box, I'm going to lay out what fillers that we're going to need. We've got more cardboard to reinforce the front. Now this is so that if your bow isn't, powerful enough to fully penetrate the target, if it hits just a little bit, it's definitely going to go through most of the cardboard, in which case it'll hold the arrow in its place. I've actually come up against a situation where the arrow actually hit the target and it didn't go through far enough. It was a really low poundage bow and the arrow just lay down like that. And consecutive shots, because now you got a larger surface area of the arrow, consecutive shots actually destroy that one arrow. So having multiple layers of cardboard there helps keep that arrow in place, especially again for low poundage bows. It also helps with the integrity of the front face, so you can shoot it a little bit more before you change out the inserts or the face itself. Okay, so cardboard. So these are pretty much waste cloth. I've got old towels here. You can actually go to a tailor shop. They have a lot of cutoffs, things that they're gonna throw anyway. Sometimes they will charge you some money for it. Like I bought a bag of waste cloth for 18 ringgit. Some places you can get them for free, but essentially you are recycling. They are going to throw that out anyway, but you're using it for additional purpose. So the fabric is going to be the main thing that decelerates your arrow. And the cool thing is, if you're using cloth and you're shooting heavy poundage bow, once you hit it, it's actually easy to pull it out. If you use high density foam, what happens is the foam actually grips onto the arrow and it's really difficult for you to pull it out. So this actually not only stops heavy poundage arrows very well, but it also makes it very easy to pull out. All right, lastly, you're gonna want some of this foam. These are actually yoga blocks. I forgot how much I bought them for. I think 6 ringgit or 7 ringgit on Lazada. These on its own won't be able to stop the arrow. That's what you've got the cloth for. But it is meant to catch whatever this guy couldn't stop in time. And it does a very good job of doing that. But if you just shoot it on its own, it's actually a pain to pull it out. This is a little bit too thick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in half. Also, I don't have too many of these, and I do want to ensure that the back of the target is fully covered with it by the time we seal it up. In cutting these things, you're going to be using a knife, obviously. This is a bit overkill, but these things aren't exactly easy to cut. I don't have to tell you, be safe when you're using a knife. All right, so I pretty much filled that up with the foam. Let me put this back in. And it's a little tight, you kind of want to pack it in. This part here is trying to bounce up, so what I did was I got a section of cardboard I'm going to put in here like this, just to hold everything nice and neatly in place. So right, you don't need too much cloth in there. I generally find about 4-5 inches of cloth is more than sufficient at stopping 70 pounds. Of course, if you are going to shoot something heavier than 70 pounds, you will need more cloth. So be safe, go with more than you need rather than not enough. If you went not enough, make sure you've got something solid in the back to stop that arrow should you over penetrate. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to fill up the front with cardboard panels and we'll put in the cloth, then we'll test fire it, see how well it stops it. Alright, so we've definitely packed a lot of fabric in here. This will definitely stop 70 pounds. I dare say 100 pounds shouldn't be a problem either. Now, one thing you want to try to avoid when it comes to fabric are hard fittings. Like this has some sequins on it or some fake crystals on it. You don't want to put those in there, especially if they're hard. You don't want them to damage your arrows, your shaft. As arrows going in, you don't want to scratch them up either. If you are going to put recycled fabric in there, like jeans for example, or pants, make sure you remove the zippers first. The zippers, the buttons, in most cases they're actually made of metal, brass. So make sure you remove them. You do not want to damage your arrows. If you're shooting cheap arrows, that already sucks. And if you're shooting expensive arrows, well, that just hurts. So alright, we're going to seal this up and we'll take a test shot. I've got my wall, my solid wall as a backstop. Worst case scenario is I get a little ding in the wall, and that sucks. I could probably patch it up later on though. But no one is at immediate risk here, and I'm going to be doing it at a really short range. We're talking like 2 meters. Yeah, insane, right? Okay, let's get to it. Alright, so when you tape it up, do make sure that you know which side is the front. You can shoot it from either way and chances are it'll stop at 70 pounds, no problems. But we did put that dense foam in the back, which is supposed to be the last resort at stopping the arrow. That foam, again, is difficult for you to pull the arrow out of from, and you generally don't want to shoot it. You do want to let all that cloth do the work after all. Okay, so I've got some targets courtesy of Emperor from Outdoor Gear Malaysia. So I will be sticking these on here so that, you know, I don't forget where the front is again, and I do have something to aim at when I shoot at it later. Alright, so that was pretty much point blank. I would have went further back, but my elbow was touching the wall. Alright, so as you can see, it stopped it. It stopped it easy. Let's just see how much penetration we got. So that was pretty much about 2/3 of the way through. So the first 4 inches is cardboard, as we know since we packed it. And the balance is going to be the fabric, which did an excellent job at stopping this arrow. Alright, so that's how you make a super duper affordable target butt that'll stop 70 pounds, no problems. All it cost me was 3 yoga blocks, some scrap fabric. I paid 18 ringgit for a big bag, and the rest was all pretty much free. Duct tape's negligible. The boxes, you know, you go to the supermarket, you can get tons of it free. And that's pretty much it. If I wasn't making a video, this would take me like 15 minutes and I'd be done. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys found this video informative and useful, do like and subscribe. Don't forget to share it with your friends. You know, if you've got archer friends that could benefit from this, I'm sure they'll appreciate it as well. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Till then, you guys stay safe, stay sharp, and shoot straight.